All right, we are finally live. The moment everybody has been waiting for. Welcome to Herf Zone Live, the show that is unlike any other cigar show where we have the most eclectic lineup of guests, of which some smoke cigars and some who don't. Either way, we bring you the best content weekly. Herf Zone Live is sponsored by StogieLives.com. Make sure you check them out. It is a brand new social media site just for cigar smokers, similar to Facebook. You can go on there, make a profile, make groups, do all the same type of stuff that you could do on Facebook and all that good stuff. But it's all for cigar smokers. There's no censorship or none of that. And it's definitely an awesome experience. So also, if you look at the description in on YouTube and Facebook, Herf Zone Live is getting behind an effort with Ace Prime Cigars and with Stogie Press. They are raising money for the people of Jalapa, Nicaragua, and so you can click that link, see what they've done so far, see some of the people that they're raising money for, and all that good stuff. And it's an awesome thing. I think they're like at $12,000 after out of like $50,000. So make sure you donate to that effort. It's a worthy cause to help the people in the cigar producing country of Nicaragua. And so, before we bring on our guests, though, I'm going to go ahead and play the intro. Before I started the show, I did a whole little test thing so let me know if there's any skipping or whatever, because I'm playing around with the new format. So we're going to play the intro, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to get into this awesome show with Cigar Mike. One second. All right, and waiting patiently in a Cigar Hustlers podcast green room, we got Cigar Mike all the way from Atlanta via Las Vegas, Nevada, for the PCA trade show. So, what's going on, Cigar Mike?
Man, what's good, brother? My man,
Nothing
Shirtless
much,
Mike.
man. Nothing much, brother. So, how has this week of PCA been so far? It's the last day. I'm sure you're tired.
Uh, nah, it's been different. The setup and show is much smaller now, without the big four in here. But all in all, I mean, you end buyers out there, look forward to some great product. There were some nice deals made. There's a lot of nice new product hitting the market now. I think you're gonna be pleased with it.
Yes, sir. All right. So a lot of people, know who you are, mostly around the South and everything. But oh, Cigar Mike will be right back. He accidentally bumped his phone, but he will be right back. All right. What's going on, Uncle Larry? How you doing, brother? We got people starting to pile in, so leave those comments while we're waiting for Cigar Mike to come back into the green room. Uh, Looks like his phone slipped or whatever, but da da da. Just waiting here. See, that's the thing about live shows. Sometimes you have tech issues or something crazy happens. You just gotta roll with the flow, roll with the punches here. So he shall be right back. There he goes. All right. So yeah. So what I was saying though, Mike, a lot of people, most everybody knows who you are. There's some people that follow me that don't, and so I want to introduce the world to Cigar Mike. When I do interviews, I do a lot of research, and I get people's life story out there, within reason, as long as it's nothing that's incriminating or anything. So, are you originally from Atlanta?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I've been in Atlanta since I was 4 years old. So I'm an AT alien all the way through.
Oh, okay, so tell me about what it was like growing up in Atlanta during your era.
It was fun. It was a little scary. We had the typical, childhood, you know, outside every Saturday all day, drinking out the water hose, eating sandwiches and stuff. But I also, so for anybody on here who's familiar, I also came up in the era of the Atlanta child murders,
Mm.
and that was a big thing in the early '80s. So, of course, my mother, like any other mother, was very protective of us. Don't stay too far. Be home when the street lights came on, type of thing. But
Okay.
nah, it was good. We had fun, man.
Awesome. So what area of Atlanta did you grow up in?
Decatur, the east side of
Decatur?
Atlanta. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've been over there before a long time ago. A friend of mine, his uncle had a little church there, so he went to preach at his uncle's church. So it's a lot of Southern hospitality over there.
Yes, sir.
So when you were coming up in school, were you into sports or were you involved in any other extracurricular activities?
Nah, man, I wasn't really into sports, man. I wasn't the physical fit kind of guy. I had a different type of personality,
Yeah,
I don't like to lose because somebody else didn't do their job.
yeah. Were you into anything though, like any other extracurricular activities though?
I was into the arts. I studied martial arts for a while. Did a little fighting here and there.
Oh, okay. Now, when you say you studied martial arts, like, did you get like a black belt, or did you stop at some point, or?
Well, I stopped when I figured I wasn't gonna make me no money. You know,
Definitely.
I mean, it helped me in the fact that I started at 17. I was a bouncer. Hold on one second. We're gonna switch
Yeah, there was another profile that.
over.
Unmute yourself. You got
Gotcha.
two profiles.
Hello.
Yeah, you got two profiles.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you good.
there we go. I've been working on my social media presence, so we have two profiles. No, I'm kidding.
So,
No, well, and I started at 17, a bouncer at nightclubs, a very
okay.
small guy, so the arts did help me in that part of my life.
Okay. So, like, backing up a little bit though, till we get to where till you were older. But what kind of student was Cigar Mike? Did you get good grades and go to college, or do you just get by?
Oh, man, this is not for children. So I was the kind of kid, I hated school. And the teachers would tell my mother, like, we don't understand how he can get F's in conduct and A's and B's on his grades. Because I just didn't like school. And in high school, I wasn't there most of the time. And I come back to school, I come to take tests. I got to take a test, so I come to take the test. And they're like, how did you pass? I never said I didn't study. I didn't study here. So I would cut school, but I would go to the library because if it was English that I needed, instead of 45 minutes in school, I'd go and do English all day, or math, or social studies, or science, or whatever. And then I was better prepared to take the test. I just didn't feel the necessity to be there.
Hmm. I'm kind of the same way, except I didn't get the best of grades. I just didn't give a crap at one point. So, but at least you understood how you needed to learn.
Right, right. And everybody's learning it, of course, is not that classroom learning because you're talking to 20, 30, kids at a time, and everybody's learning process is different. You just got one blanket approach. It's not going to work for everybody.
Yeah. Now let's get into, when you start to get older. You said you were a bouncer at one point when you were 17. How long did you do that?
Oh man, I did nightclub security, nightclub management for from 17 till I was about 24, 25.
Oh, okay. And around 25 years ago, you were a bathroom attendant. I told you I do research. In strip clubs, I guess regular clubs. Was that your own venture, or did you work for someone else doing that?
Well, I initially started, I guess it's kind of always working for yourself. As a buddy of mine, Yeah, I always talk to the guy in the bathroom. He's a cool dude. And he needed to step away for a minute. And he didn't want to break down everything. So he's like, can you stand here? And I'm like, okay. Turn the water on, squirt the soap, hand him a towel. Pretty easy. And all the money that was in the bowl when he came back, I just walked out. He gave it to me. I'm like, this ain't my money. It's your money. So he's like, yo, you be good for this. So I ended up doing that. And he also told me about cigars. He was like, listen, if you start selling cigars, you can buy it for this and sell it for this. And back in those days, I get a Macanudo or Party or something like that, $5 or $6. And I was selling it for $20. I was like, I like that math. So, and then from that point on, I was pretty much on my own. And I ended up having like 5 clubs. I had 9 employees, and I would set them up with the different accounts, and they did their thing, and I did mine. I did that for about 15 years.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And so that's how you got like around that time when you started selling the cigars and everything. Though you were trying them too, right? You were starting to try them, or
Right,
um,
right. And I was selling them for a little while, and then me and one of my buddies was hanging out one night, and we just ended up picking up 2 cigars. My first cigar was a Don Tomas, and we smoked them, and then we would go to this one strip club, because in Atlanta strip clubs are like an office.
yep,
It's not like, oh, we're going to do all that. We go to strip club, we eat, we have steaks and have our drinks, and it's no big thing. So every Sunday, me and about 8 or 10 guys would go to this one spot, and we all order steaks, and we have some cocktails or whatever. And I was in charge of cigars, so I would go and buy a box of cigars every Sunday, and we sit there and smoke them. And then, I'd be smoking while I was at work. I'm in the bathroom, I'm smoking a cigar. Guys, oh, where you get that from? I know a guy. You want one? And I started smoking a little in my car. Like, okay. And I knew it was over when I was at home, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna light a cigar. All right. It was over. I was like, okay, I'm a cigar smoker now.
yeah,
So that was,
definitely. And so that was the point basically for you that it just kind of became your lifestyle and just an everyday thing or whatever.
yeah. Well, it wasn't every day. But it was a few times a week, because like I said, when I was at work, I'm gonna smoke a cigar too while I'm in there. But it's picking it up, putting it down. But then when you're on your way home, like, yeah, I'm gonna like this and smoke it on the way to the house. And I get to the house like, well, I'm not finished this. I'm just gonna take it in now, and I'm up watching TV, watching Law and Order or whatever in the middle of the night. I'll smoke another cigar, So, but I wasn't part of the lifestyle, and I say that because I didn't know that it was an anomaly. I would go in cigar stores in different parts of the city 2, 3, 4 times a week, and I'm buying 10, 15, 20 cigars at a time. I don't know what cigar smokers do. I guess it's like the trap. I'm buying stuff for the trap, so I never hung out there.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, big brother to me, named Al Govan. We call him Big Poppy, and he's actually down in Florida. He lives in Florida now, and he just looked at me one day because I just walk in and out of the store. He's like, "Yo, they put sofas in here for a reason, right?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Sit down, sit down. People sit down here, sit down." I got nothing to do. My job doesn't start till 9 o'clock at night. So I would go do my thing during the day, whatever I need to pick up. Then my last thing would be, if I need to pick up cigars, I go pick up cigars. But I would sit in the shops, and so I started smoking, and I would talk to people, and I started meeting all these reps because I was buying all these cigars, and they became my friends. We were cool. I see them now. I see them in different shops, and oh, hey. So that's when I started to accept it as a lifestyle, because now I'm doing it 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Yeah. And as you got more enthralled into it and everything, you kind of you started getting people asking you a lot of questions and all that, and of course, you got the hustler mentality, just that legal hustle mentality, and you was like, and I think you Googled the terms tobacco consultants, and after
Yeah,
but nothing came up. So you started your own tobacco consulting business. What does being a tobacco consultant entail, and how exactly do you consult tobacco businesses? What does that business kind of look like for you?
okay. So at the time I did it, I had no idea what it entailed. All I know is people are asking me questions, and somebody should get paid for this. And what I developed from there is, well, so what I do now is, if somebody came to me and they wanted to open a cigar bar, I can consult you from pre-construction to grand opening. So everything from your layout, um, we train your staff, we do your initial cigar orders. Um, we do a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I know so many of the guys in the industry. So for me to start, for me to do your initial orders is not hard for me to do wherever you are in the
Yeah.
country, because I can call a national sales director and be like, hey, listen, who's your guy in Nebraska? Okay, I want to put in an order with this guy for this product. I happen to drink a lot of liquor. So with that being said,
A lot of liquor. A lot.
a lot. So, so even now that you're building out your bar, I consult on what spirits to purchase, why to purchase them, also the amounts of liquor you purchase, because most business is going to break down the buy side and supply side economics. So this is why you purchase this much of this. This is why you should do this. This is why you should do this. So I do that. So that's what cigar tobacco consultant means to me now. Before, it was just like, well, nobody else doing it, and people keep asking me questions.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get into how you kind of got into like being a cigar promoter and all that. But before that, though, I want to know how did you get the name Cigar Mike? Was this something you just came up with, or did somebody actually like bestow that name upon you?
So a friend of mine, Cedric Ward, and I'm always there on different sides of town, different sides of the city. And I walk into the different spot, and of course, cigar smokers being courteous, how you doing? My name is Mike. How you doing? My name is Mike. Da, da, da. And Cedric said, nah, that's Cigar Mike, man. Ask him anything you know about cigar. Talk to him about cigars. And we all laughed it off. It was a joke. It's pretty funny. A couple of weeks later, excuse me, I'm in a different shop, completely different side of town. And I walk, same thing. Hey, how you doing, brother? I'm Mike. How you doing? I'm Mike. And guy yells out, oh, Cigar Mike. And it's just fun.
Awesome. And so tell me about how you got into being a promoter in the cigar community. Was there a cigar scene in Atlanta in the urban market before your movement started, or did you pioneer the cigar scene in Atlanta as we know it now?
Well, I don't like to say pioneer.
Or at least like, as we know it, of being lit, you know what I mean? Like throwing parties in that sense, kind of like a club, but in the cigar world.
Well, coming from the nightclub business, part of what I did is throw parties and promote events a lot for other people or concerts or whatever. So I knew how to promote. And I just had this concept one day, and I was like, I want to do this because I know it'll taste good. And the concept was cigar, scotch, and chocolate. And I was at a local cigar shop. My buddy ran the shop, and I knew the guy that owned it. And he said, well, you could do it here. And it was a nice turnout. We had like 40, 45 people or something like that. And we did it with the 3 different chocolates, 3 different scotches, and a cigar. And it turned out well. And people were like, yo, when you going to do another event? I was like, I don't know. Like, I just did that because I wanted to do that. No, I didn't really do it for money or anything. Of course, it cost me money, so we had to put a little tag on it. But
yeah,
it was maybe $40 or $45, something like that for the whole thing. And I kept getting, requests, yo, do this. So at that time, you're talking about 15, years ago, a cigar event was, the big sandwich from Blimpies and some chicken wings and the guys that you saw yesterday.
Yep.
So I'm like, but I would see all these, bars and restaurants, and I would go there because I hang out all the time, and I could smoke cigars there. So I tell the guys like, yo, listen, let's go to this spot, man. It's pretty cool. We can sit on the patio or sit on the balcony or whatever and smoke cigars. All right, word, let's go over there. Well, what about tonight? Okay, well, I know this other spot that I go and I smoke, and they're cool too. But then it became, calls every day, like, yo, Mike, what we gonna smoke today? So now it's like a job. Like I gotta find some place for us to smoke all the time.
Yeah.
But what started out as like 6, 7 guys was like 20, 30, 40 people. Like, yo, what we doing? Where we at? So I realized that there was a need for stuff to do outside of a cigar shop. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of when that whole side of Cigar Mike started to grow. I did an event. A guy I had worked with years past at a place that some people fondly remember called the Gold Club. He was managing another adult entertainment club. Now I would go there all the time during the day because I could sit at the bar, I could smoke cigars, I could get a steak for $7 and, maybe have a couple of beers, a couple of Jack Daniels or whatever, and go off from there. And it was no big thing. Nobody fanning smoke, nobody, complaining.
Yeah.
So my boy who worked at the other club, he came to me and said, listen, I know you know how to promote. You know cigars. Why don't you do a cigar event? I said, I think about it. I'm doing the bathroom thing at the time. I'm making good money. I'm all right. And I walked back into the club maybe a month later. And he comes out of the office. He looks at me like, yo, come on, man. What are we going to do? I said, all right, what you want to do? He said, okay, what are we going to call it? I said, Smoker's Retreat. He said, okay. He said, what do you want? So I wrote down 10 things that I wanted in the event, and I got 7 of them. And, as a promoter, that's what I'm looking for, 70 to 80% of what I feel that I need to make this event go. We worked out a deal, and my first event, I had 42 people. I knew each and every one of them. They came, they hung out, and I got some free cigars, and I would hand them out, and I did that for a few months. And there's a list of people and they're all extremely humble, but Sean Williams, when he started El Premier Mundo, Rick Ardito and Jonathan Drew, when they were together at Drew Estates, Steve Dickerson, Ringo, he was at Davidoff at the time, Chris Harper from Tabacalera Padermo, like these guys would, Oscar GTO cigar, these guys would call me and make sure that I had product to hand out to people, because I told people the first 100 people get a free sure. And saying without those guys, the first 4 or 5 months of that event would not have existed. And that event ended up going for 10 years. And then after that, we brought in cigar rollers. So we had cigar rollers in the strip club, and we had doctors, lawyers, athletes, entertainers, and it was just a good time. Moza and all these guys. And I want people to have the same encounters with them that I do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I base my events, around bringing the individuals closer to the end buyers. So the Atlanta Cigar Experience is largely, it's 18 events in 7 days. We do pop-ups every day for 3 or 4 hours. We do an event at night, and then we do an after party. So it's whenever you want to hang out, whenever you want to come out, we have something to offer. So, we'll do an industry appreciation party. We'll buy a big buffet for all the brokers and cigar reps and stuff like that. You come in, you eat on me. Well, not really me. It ain't my money. It's the sponsor's money. But
Yeah.
We'll kick off the week like that, and we do different things. Last year we were at Life and Times on a Tuesday. We did a big hip hop party, inside and outside. Christine from LSF set up the trailer out there. We had an amazing time. Wednesday night, I did a Havana Nights event. We did that over at Cigar Rose. That was great. We did a Meet the Brands event on Thursday. We did at Cigar City Club. Friday, we did like a small Davidoff event. Saturday, we did Fellowship ATL, Cam Newton's spot. Shouts out to CJ Akbar. They made that happen for me. And then on Sunday, we did a day party over at King Cigars, and that was crazy. Like, it started raining. People pulled out umbrellas. They didn't move. They were like this with a cigar.
That's how
So
it was at Black Smoke Miami when I met you for the first
yeah,
time. Like, we were all up under the tents.
there's a little tiki hut still smoking.
Yeah, definitely. One of my viewers here, he has a question here. He says, "Does Atlanta have a large number of cigar shops or lounges?" Just wondering how the cigar culture is there.
Yeah, as far as cigar shops, brick and mortar, there are probably north of 125. Lounges, probably about 12. When I say lounges, I mean places with full bars, that type of full bars, food, and that type of thing. So yeah, we got somewhere for you to go.
Definitely. Now, you don't just do, your local events in Atlanta. You do a lot. Like, it seems like every time I turn around, you're always on the road somewhere else. How many total events do you do every year? So tell me about what it's like on the road going from state to state to promote different cigar events.
It's crazy. I mean, I did like 2019, I did somewhere around 110, 111 events that year, and then 2020, things were a little slow.
Yeah.
Just want to say, it's a little slow. 2021 has been amazing. I mean, God bless. I've been able to stay working, stay on the road. I left Atlanta last Thursday, and I don't go back until the 19th. So this 19, almost 20 days on the road for me. I'm headed to Charlotte, North Carolina after this, and then back to Atlanta on Monday for about 7 days, and then up to DC for the DMV Super Herf. So
That's a lot of travel there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
But it's cool seeing meeting all kinds of. I don't do a lot of traveling just yet, but it's cool whenever I do get to travel. Erica, she booked me to come out there to do some coverage for the GTG event we were at, and
Yeah.
they gave me a little bit of taste. It's fun to. I didn't realize how many people knew who I was in South Carolina. I was like, my
Right.
God, man, I like that.
And shout out to you, Mike. That's my first shirtless interview. I never done an interview with no shirt.
And
But
and for those out there watching, I did not prompt him to. Like, I would did it. It was not a special request. He just was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get shirtless."
right. I was shirtless Mike. We got shirtless Cigar Mike and shirtless Mike. What else do you want?
I mean, that was like that whole weekend was lit as fuck. I don't even drink like that. The first day I went really really hard. The rest of the time I didn't even drink, but I still was lit. So
It was bananas. It was bananas. Shouts out to Erica and Hollywood, my man King Hollywood over in Charleston. He put on
yeah.
an amazing event.
Absolutely. So you just came over here to Florida to Executive Sanford. I had to, unfortunately, I was not able to come over because I had my show. And I was interviewing Shorty Rossi from Pit Boss. But
Right.
how did that go with Epic Cigars and Uncle Nearest? I'm smoking the Epic Cigars Corojo right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Dean and I have been friends for years, and he's been to Atlanta a few times, and and when Erica asked me to do it, I was like, oh my God, because I was in Tampa, so that Thursday through Sunday I was to be in Tampa, and I was gonna drive and then come back to Atlanta, and then fly out here Wednesday, and what I ended up doing was flying to Tampa. Erica sent a team to pick me up that Monday. So we rode over to Sanford. We hung out Monday night. Tuesday we had the event with Dean, and then Wednesday I flew out here to Vegas. But it was like a perfect storm. I do a lot of events, and I do the cigar pairings for Uncle Nearest. So that was easy. And Erica's like, "Well, I'm gonna call Dean from Epic and see if he'll come out." And I'm like, "Great, this works out perfectly." We had an amazing time. Shouts out to Executive Cigars. The staff is incredible. The facility is amazing. I can't wait to get back down there.
Yep. Yeah, I live like an hour from there, and their main shop is over in Melbourne. But Erica's one of the co-owners of Sanford, along with Tom and Alex, and but Melbourne's now my home shop because my home shop ended up closing down last year, not because of COVID, but some other bullshit. But
Right.
I was just an executive in Melbourne today, finishing up my show prep for today. So, shouts out to
Okay.
everybody over there. So. Now, but you're still at Vegas for PCA. Was there any new releases that you saw that intrigued you, or anything interesting happened during PCA that you could spill the beans on for those who were not able to attend, or at least
Listen, and
those who
and
might
and
be interested?
well, to be fair to everybody, there's a lot of product that I don't smoke when I'm out in Vegas because of the climate. There's zero humidity, so it's extremely dry. Like you can hold your cigar and watch the moisture leave it.
Mm.
So it's a lot of stuff that I don't smoke. There are a few things that I had time to sit down with people, sit in their booths, and actually share with them. Um, the All Saints cigar.
Yep.
Actually, these guys are out of Atlanta, but the All Saints cigar was really good that I smoked. Jake Wyatt. Jake Wyatt. There's only two Candela sticks that I can even try to finish, and both of those are made by Eric Espinosa, which was the pickle juice that he did for Moya Ruiz
Mm-hmm.
and the wasabi. And the guys from Jake Wyatt were so nice, and they were explaining to us the different blends, and I was just on the fence, like the way they made the blend sound like I wanted to try the Candela, and we sat, we talked about it. I smoked the cigar, smoked it all the way through. So that was pretty dope. Uh, I had a couple of more the hot cakes and the pan calientes. Shout out to Lorenzo HBC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, kind of snuck in and got a couple of those homicidal hens from Drunk Chicken Cigars. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell
Herf's on live
nobody.
exclusive.
Right. So she dropped that. So had a couple of those. Those were really nice. Trying to think whatever. No, Howie G. You know Howie G, right?
Yeah, man. He's from Orlando. I met him before the
Yeah.
cigars, like just going to Corona and Sand Lake. Every time I go there, he's there. So he's a good
Yeah.
cat.
Well, he's downstairs at the bar right now. You know, so we've been hanging out. Him, Big Leon, Cersei. You know what I'm saying? So uh, that stuff is amazing. But so of the few things that I have smoked here, it's like I said, the buying community, get ready. It's going to be some crazy stuff. I had a GPC project that Enrique Sanchez did from 1502, and they came in like these little, it's like a little fat Corona, really really nice. They come in 5 packs, flavor bombs, full of flavor. So if you run into Enrique Sanchez, pat him down, see if you got some. See if you got some.
Definitely. So like there was I seen different comments about PCA this year. Some people was like, "Oh, it was dead" and all that. Like, what was the overall like attitude and vibe this year? We're coming straight out of COVID, and the first one in over a year. What was the overall attitude of everybody that you talked to? Like, was people excited about being there and stuff?
Well, people were excited about being around the industry again. The culture being in one room again. After being spread out for this amount of time, and everybody was just like, like I got here Wednesday, and people started getting in town, and everybody's just kind of like, I don't know what's gonna go on. I don't know what to expect. Because we've never been in this space before, and without the big four, and then a pandemic, and then just so much stuff. And the first day on the floor, I'm just kind of slowly walking and looking, and I'm gonna tell you, there are a lot of really focused buyers out here. They spent good money for on new product and different offerings, for the public. So I think it turned out well for most people that were here. I can't speak for everybody. The people that I've been fortunate enough to be in conversation with, nobody's mad.
Yeah.
Nobody's mad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I heard that there was there was somebody from the media. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm cool with them, so it's not like a drag or nothing. But he made a post about people that's not actually media, like interrupting people's getting in the way of the camera and all that type of stuff. It's just little stuff like that I've heard. But I mean, based on what you said, it seems like it was just a good vibe all around, this year. So hopefully I'm
Yeah,
gonna make it next year. Cause see, I'm not really, I don't really consider myself the media in the aspect of, I don't. If I go, I'm not gonna be doing like interviews like on the floor because everybody's gonna ask the same questions to everybody, and this is my format. I get to know people, in their natural environment, all that stuff. So I'm more of a personality than media. Even though I have a website, I don't do news. It's more about the personality, getting to know people kind of behind the scenes. It's a cigar show, but it's not like we're not sitting there just talking all cigars per se. It's just it's about the person and getting to know their life story. But how were the parties this year at PCA? Did you throw or host any, or did you just attend and party your ass off?
Both.
Both.
Both. I did. Shout out to John and the Philly Cigar Week crew, my man Pat, those cats over there. So they came in and they rented the entire Artisan Hotel for 3 days. So I was actually hosting events Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. And again, shout out to Cam Newton, CJ, Akbar. They flew in a team of people for the Fellowship ATL party, lipsticks and fingertips. Had a nice party out there on Friday evening. My main guys here in Vegas, the Cigar Gurus, Jazz, my man Sweet Lou, they came out. They did their thing Friday as well. So there was that. There was an opening night party. The opening night party was like at the back of the trade show floor, and it was sponsored by Espinosa Cigars, Ace Prime, and Crown Heads. That was and that was a nice kind of introduction. Like it was the Friday before everything started, so it's kind of like, oh, who's here? Oh, man, what's going on? There's a lot of handshaking and hugging going on. There's we hadn't seen some of these cats in a year and a half. It's good to know everybody's all right and business. And so how's your kids? That type of thing. So that was great. Also, my guys from Protocol Cigars, Kevin and my man Juan Cancel, getting ready to release the Bass Reeves edition of Protocol Cigars. And Bass Reeves was an African American United States Marshal. And a lot of people say, as the story goes, that he is the character of the Lone Ranger is largely based on Bass Reeves. And in Oklahoma, there's actually a Bass Reeves Day. So they're releasing a cigar in honor of Bass Reeves. So that's going to be pretty big. I haven't had that one yet. Matter of fact, there's one downstairs. Let me go downstairs and see one.
Yeah, I just got the sound. We got it.
Yeah, so I'll have that one soon.
I put it
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I call one my drunk Uncle Juanito.
Listen, ever since he retired and he the glasses and the hair, I tell him he looks like Frank Serpico. Yeah, but
Wow.
Juan's been buddy for years now. We hang out in different at different cigar events, and we're both usually down at Palooza with Eric, and the rest of the guys from the rest of the guys from Arizona and Espinosa together.
Definitely. All right, so we're reached the part of the show now where we're gonna get on to the fun questions, which will be, like more like trivia. And if you're watching, you can put comments out there as well to see if you can get it. There's no right, it's not about if you're good at trivia or not. It's just fun to see how much random useless shit that people know, or how much they don't. It's just fun. Meant to just kind of end the show off right. So I'm gonna get. I forgot how many. It's not too many, but I'll get started here. So, in which film did father and son actors Will and Jaden Smith first appear together? That's easy.
That's not easy. You know how much I drink, Mike? No, it's not easy.
That's what makes it fun, though. But I mean,
That's
it
what I'm
should be
saying.
easy.
It's not
Will
easy.
Smith and his son Jaden Smith.
Was it the one where, and I don't remember the name? Was it when he was the account executive and they had to sleep in the train station and that type of thing?
Yeah, The Pursuit of Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you were able to describe it, so that's a win.
Cool.
Even with all that drinking.
I stopped drinking like 20 minutes before the show. So
and then 5 minutes after, you're gonna begin again. Amen.
4 minutes as soon as the elevator lands.
All right, now next one here. So, what U.S. president put a Twinkie in the country's Millennium time capsule?
I don't know, the fat one. No, it wouldn't be the fat one because he would have ate the Twinkie. So I don't know.
All right, well, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Stands to reason. Okay, we got it.
All right, what is Japanese? Okay, this is alcohol related, so you better get this right. What is Japanese sake made from?
Rice.
Got it. I knew you'd get that right. What is the name of the prehistoric town in which the Flintstones live?
Bedrock.
Boom. So yeah, I throw some easy shit in there too. What character did Michael J. Fox play in Back to the Future?
Oh man. And if you wouldn't have asked me, I would know it. I like that guy. I've seen that movie 648 times, but I don't remember.
All right, Marty McFly.
McFly.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Or the lack thereof.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. Originated in what movie?
Nope, you got me.
Jaws. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
It should have been you're gonna need another boat. That was the understatement of the year.
For sure. All right, what is the biggest supermarket chain in the U.S.?
Walmart.
No.
No?
No.
I don't think it's Kroger's. I know we have Kroger's, but I don't think it's Kroger's.
You got it.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Now, I don't fact check. I just get this shit randomly online. So if it's not right, it's not my fault. I don't fact check this shit.
I know.
But I'm sure it probably is. All right. So how many times has Kim Kardashian been married?
I think it's 3.
Ding, ding, ding. Got it. Which body part continues to grow throughout your lifetime? And don't say something crazy because it's not what you would think.
Wait a minute. Now, what was the question again?
What body parts continue to grow throughout your lifetime?
My belly at this point.
No, it's your nose and ears, which I was surprised at because I could have named a few other things, but we're not going to go there. Now, if you don't get this next one, there's something wrong. So finish this famous line. RESPECT.
Find out what it means to me.
See, got it. Alcohol. Okay, another alcohol-related question. Alcohol is a word derived from which language?
I think it was Greek.
No. One more try.
Latin.
No, Arabic.
Arabic. I never read anything about that. I was gonna say Kentucky after that, but no.
Which year was the last for the video store chain Blockbuster?
Oh man. I don't remember that. I remember being a little saddened though, because I had nothing else to put in my VCR.
It was 2014.
And I would have said before that, actually.
Yeah,
The
because I think there
Blockbuster.
was some in like one in Alaska and one in like Oregon or something like that.
And then there was, because it was that, and it was the Hollywood Video.
Yep, I remember all of them back in the day. Friday night was never the same after Blockbuster done shut down.
Right, but now you can just watch it on your phone.
Exactly, or on the computer, wherever. I
Right.
still miss that. I still miss that smell walking into Blockbuster. They had that like unique smell.
Yeah,
I
it
still
was
kind of
bad.
miss that.
It was bad licorice. That was the
All
smell.
right, we're almost done here. So, what is the term for having a small amount of alcohol the morning after having a lot of it?
Hair of the dog that bit you.
Got it. Just two more here, and then you can start the party. So, what kinds of alcohol go into a Long Island iced tea?
All the wrong shit. It's vodka, gin, rum, tequila, and triple sec.
Dada, I know you get that right. And finally, which sport has been played on the moon?
Kickball? I have no idea. It's been years since I've been on the moon.
Golf.
Golf? Okay,
Yep.
golf.
All right. So yeah, man, bro, I appreciate you for coming on the show tonight. And man, so sometimes doing a live show is a little nerve wracking because like if you were like not in Vegas, I would have been like, bro, why you late like this? But I would have been bitching. But I knew you were in Vegas. You know, you had to end things for throughout the day and all that. Man, it's so much appreciated that you came on and for the first time on Herf Zone Live.
No doubt, man.
Now tell
Anytime,
everybody
man.
where they can reach out to you on social media and all that good stuff before we get off of here.
You got me on the screen, man. It's just cigar_Mike on Instagram, and sure, this Mike could tell you I'm not a hard guy to get a hold to. You can DM me or whatever. I love to travel. I love to sit, smoke, herf with different people. So if I'm out on the block, come see me.
For sure. All right, man. Everybody that tuned in tonight, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there and all that good stuff. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit that bell, all that good stuff. And I'll let you know when we're not live anymore. We can talk that real shit. One